All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race number one. Andrew Lau and Xander on the front row. Adam Barker and Max Gunther have the second row. Simon Zierk and Rudolph Gunther on the third row. Mike Dolling and Ryan McDaniel round out the 8-car field here this morning. And due to the absence of Yannick the Cool One Gunther, I do believe Adam Barker is now officially the champ. A heartbreaking morning. Yannick has had such a great season. All the drivers take to the grid and prepare to roll out for their warm-up lap. This track is tricky at the best of times during the day when you've got some sunlight, but all the elevation changes, all the turns coming off those elevation changes can throw the cars all over the track, add the darkness into this, and things get more interesting. No rain expected this morning. Track temperature going down as it gets later. Jonas, unfortunately, Yannick is not here this morning. He stood poised to take the championship, but as of now, Adam Barker is the champ once again. Bit of a heartbreak. Yannick has had such an awesome season. Plus, we were really looking forward to seeing what his new nickname would be next season. Once he won the championship, his nickname apparently would not be allowed to stay. We do have two members of Team Gunther here today, though. Max and Rudolph both here. Can they get another 1-2 finish this morning? Down the long back straightaway, everybody stacked up side by side. Porsche pace car leading them down the hill. That final chicane where we are going to see a lot of activity all morning long through these two turns. Andrew Lau out front as the pace car pulls to pit road. Lau fires. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Road Atlanta. Lau gets a good jump into one. Xander and Adam, a lot of lights flashing coming up the hill. Everybody holds on to it through the first few turns down into the S's. So far, so good. All the drivers still nose to tail. Oh! Xander, a big off track. Adam Barker now to second. Xander slipped all the way back to sixth. We'll take a look at Xander's incident and any further incidents on lap one once they come across the line. But back down the back straightaway they go. Ryan McDaniel is at an off track, back behind. Andrew Lau leads them through the chicane for the first time. Barker in second. Max Gunther in third over the top of the hill. Into that sweeping right final turn and across the line. Andrew Lau leads lap one Let's take a look at the first couple of incidents. Here's Xander coming up out of the S's, and looks like he just went a little too wide. Got that Ford unsettled, may have kissed the wall, but keeps her going. Ryan McDaniel a few moments later, just on the power a little too soon, had the angle wrong. Went around, quickly recovers, and gets it going again. Xander already back on the attack, has gotten past Rudolph Gunther, back up into fifth, now all over the back bumper of Simon Zierk. Simon currently in fourth, Max Gunther up to third. But Andrew Lau, no! Xander has the fastest lap. Xander has the fastest lap so far this morning. Track temperatures have been coming down as it gets later and later in the night. Track temp currently 83 degrees. Just a couple degrees cooler than what they practiced in. Not a significant difference. Rudolph Gunther back in sixth, trying to close back in. Mike Dolling in seventh. But the two Ferraris out front for the moment. Andrew Lau and Adam Barker. Barker all over Lau's bumper. Max Gunther in third in the Porsche, not far behind the pair of Ferraris, trying to close that gap back up. The Porsche does struggle on the high-speed straights, but down through the S's, it should have a big advantage. Hey, good morning, Manny. Simon Zierk still trying to hold off Xander. That got a little close out of the turn. Xander all over the bumper of Simon Zierk. Xander setting up to the outside as they come down the hill toward the chicane. Does he have enough momentum to beat him and outbrake into the chicane? He does. No, Simon's going to stick the nose in. Side by side out, but Xander pulls ahead. That got a little bit close coming through the chicane. Great job by both drivers holding on to it. Xander, after losing all those spots on lap one, has now fought his way back to fourth. Andrew Lau, at least for the moment, still managing to hold Barker off. This track does have the advantage of a little bit of lighting around, which definitely makes a difference for the drivers. But as we see Simon going on the attack, looking from inside his car, you are still blind at a lot of points on this track. Down through the final chicane and up the hill. Down through that final turn, and we'll ride along with Simon as he goes through the S's, a place on the track that does not have a lot of lighting, and things can go wrong through that section very quickly. Simon really having to work the wheel as they come up the hill and down into the S's. No time to react through here if anything goes wrong. Out of the S's and back onto the straightaway. And you see just how tricky it can get out here in the dark. Andrew Lau continues to hold off Adam Barker, even putting a couple of car lengths between them. Max Gunther has not been able to gain any ground, but back behind Xander, 2 1/4 seconds. Xander has been flashing the lights almost since the drop of the green. Simon Zierk right behind him in 5th. Rudolph still holds on to 6th. Mike Dalling, the Minister of Defense, in 7th. Ryan McDaniel having some problems back in 8th. But the 2 Ferraris so far just dominating the morning. Max Gunther not able to make up any ground so far with only 8 drivers in the field this morning. That invert going into race 2 is going to be huge. The top 7 do invert going into the second race. Right now, that'll put Mike Dalling at the front. And that will not be easy for the rest of the field. Mike Dalling didn't get the nickname the Minister of Defense for nothing. He is extremely difficult to get around as Xander is off track. No, excuse me, that is Ryan McDaniel off track at the top of the S's. There's Ryan coming down the front stretch into turn 1. Overshoots into the grass. Manages to keep it over there to let the leaders and get by. Gets to the top of the hill and starts working his way back to the track as the field goes by. The 2 Ferraris continue to pull away from Max Gunther. But Xander has found some speed and maybe starting to close the gap on 3rd place. A rough first lap put Xander all the way back into 7th. He has fought his way back to 4th. Andrew Lau, for the moment, still holding off Adam Barker. Max Gunther still unable to gain any ground on the top two. And Xander just giving everybody a constant reminder he is back there. That cannot be easy, having that driving through with your lights constantly flashing. Obviously, it's meant to throw off the driver ahead, but man, that strobe effect would be hard on you. Going into race 2 with the top 7 inverting. Mike Dolling has just gotten past Gunther, Rudolph Gunther into 6th. Those two, Rudolph Gunther and Mike Dolling, as of right now, will be on the front row for race 2. The invert going into that second race is going to make this extremely interesting. Oh, Barker finally finds a way, shoots the gap through the chicane. Loud just went a little bit wide. One little mistake and Andrew Loud gives, oh, here we go, Barker. It looks like Barker may have moved over and let Loud back by. Take another look at that pass for the lead. Andrew Loud down into the chicane. There may have been a little bit of contact, which may be why Barker slid over and let him back by. We talk about it quite often, the sportsmanship that GT3 NSS drivers show to their competitors. That back and forth, however, did allow Max Gunther to close back up, and he brings Xander with him. This race may be about to heat up just a little bit. The top two still nose to tail. Max Gunther now only 1.3 seconds back. Xander just over 1.5 seconds back in fourth. Lau and Barker nose to tail this whole race. They are starting to pull away again from Max little by little. Xander continuing to try and close that gap. Simon Zierk now in fifth. Not gaining any ground on the cars ahead, but has a big buffer on the two cars back behind Mike Dolling and Rudolph Gunther. Ryan McDaniel continues to struggle here just a bit this morning, back in 8th. Back downhill through the S's, Lau and Barker. These two are going to have to fight their way from the back in race 2. Pit strategy could be a deciding factor. Tire wear has not been a huge issue here this morning. Likely see several drivers try in race 2 to stretch that fuel to its limit. And Xander still flashing the lights, trying to distract the drivers ahead, give himself a chance. He is 1.3 seconds back from Max. See if Xander does not flash that time on the front stretch. This is likely the last time we will see the Ford GT. Thankfully, unfortunately, the return, or the Ford Mustang will be coming to GT3 Racing next season. Lau and Barker out front, continuing to pull away the gap, now 2 seconds on Gunther. Xander still trying to close that gap. White flag is in the air one more time around for Andrew Lau in race 1. We've seen Barker get past him once. Can he do it again here on the last lap? This is going to come down to the final turn. Max Gunther just unable to do anything in third place to match the straight line speed of the Ferrari. At the far end of the track, headed back toward the start-finish line now down the long straightaway. Xander back and forth, still 1.4 seconds back from Max. Down the hill toward the chicane the final time. Andrew Lau looks like he has got it. They come out of the chicane. He is untouchable. Andrew Lau will pull off the win in race 1 at Road Atlanta. Adam Barker coming home in second, and Max Gunther finishes in third. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Max. Max, that was a quiet, peaceful kind of race. Not a lot to do. The Porsche just can't hold with the straight line speed of the Ferraris.
Yeah, the Ferraris are really quick on the straight line, and I think I lost some and I gained some, but in the end, they're just faster.
It did appear
here, and also Andrew and Adam are really fast on this track. So yeah,
that definitely appeared to be so, but it did appear through the S's and some of the tighter sections of track, you really gained a lot.
Yeah, the Porsche is really good in the S's, but yeah, too much straight line here. So yeah. Nothing I can do. At least I hold off Sander in his Ford.
Are you blind? That's a really important question. Are you blind, or do you have a headache from having lights flashed at you the whole race?
No, not blind, but yeah. Well, he knows what he's doing. Let's say it that way.
He definitely does. Well, great run. Another great finish, buddy.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Max Gunther coming home in third. Adam Barker comes home in second. Adam, man, there was the pass, but you let him back by. What was that about?
Yeah, it was a really good race. Andrew had some issues with his VR, so he was really slow going into the last sector. And he managed to keep it on the track. So I thought it'd be. I didn't want to take the lead with a sim issue, so I gave him back the lead.
Well, that was awfully kind of you and a great sportsmanship. You still managed to stay on his tail, just had nowhere to attack.
Yeah, it was. It's a really hard place to overtake when with such close lap times. The only real place is down into the last sector, but I could never seem to get a good enough run off of the square right. Just to do anything with it, so I was just stuck there really.
Well, still a great finish. Now you got to come through the field, but it seems like the Ferraris are dominating here this morning.
Yeah, we're really quick. Straight line speed's definitely one of the key factors in the Ferrari. The fronts are getting really hot, so it's going to be interesting to see what the condition of the tires is going to be when we finish here. So definitely going to be needing a front left no matter what, I think here. It's going to be an interesting one if it's that close in the last race.
It definitely will. Great job.
Thank you.
Worth noting, Adam Barker is now officially the champ. We'll talk to him after race 2, but Andrew Lau pulls off the win. Andrew, a great win. Obviously, some VR issues, as Adam just told us, but you managed to stay in the fight, keep going, and pull off the win.
Yeah, that was kind of unpleasant, heading into the chicane and not being able to see where you're going. Thanks to Adam for letting me back by, but it was a little hairy there.
Just close your eyes. Everybody else does when they go through the chicane.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It's like driving with the blindfold on.
You still managed to, you had a ton of speed. The Ferrari is almost unbeatable here, but now you've got to come from 7th to the front. How are you feeling about your chances on that?
It's going to be tough, I think, because Adam also showed like a ton of pace. He was right behind me the whole time. So and we have to get through not just him, but everybody else on the grid. So it's going to be a tough race.
Well, man, good luck and congratulations on the win, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Andrew Lau pulls off the win in race 1, but now the top 7 will invert, so Andrew Lau has to start from 7th. They will have to make a pit stop for fuel, and as we heard from Barker, likely going to see at least the front tires be changed on that fuel stop. Ryan McDaniel, the only driver out during warm-up, trying to get that couple extra laps, find a little bit more speed. He struggled in race 1. Can he fight back in race 2? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 2, the final race of the season. Rudolph Gunther and Mike Dolling on the front row. Simon Zierk and Xander have the second row. Max Gunther and Adam Barker on the third row. Andrew Lau back in 7th after winning race 1. Ryan McDaniel will start in 8th. Later in the night, the track temperature has continued to drop, but only down about 3 degrees from where they practiced. Not going to make a significant difference on that left front tire. Likely to see on pit stops every one of these drivers take at least front tires. Many of them liable to take 4 to play it safe. Rudolph Gunther leading the field. It is, man, Yannick. This was definitely Yannick Gunther's championship to lose, and unfortunately, real life got in the way. He couldn't be here this morning. Handing over the championship to Adam Barker. I believe that is Adam's 5th title. Hopefully next season, Yannick Gunther can get off to a great start, get out front, and finally get that well-deserved championship and a new nickname. And Xander is already getting some practice in with the flashing lights here. Mike Dalling and Simon Zierk both in the BMWs. Both of those BMWs just did not have much speed this morning. It'll be interesting to see how they're doing, having them both in the front 2 rows. Porsche 2 BMWs and the Ford in the front 2 rows. They are going to have the Ferraris that were so fast this morning have to fight through the slower traffic. Can they make any moves on the straightaway? Over the hill, the Porsche pace car heads to pit road. Rudolph fires immediately. Green is in the air. Race number 2 of the season finale, and Xander, holy cow, what an attack. Mike Dalling way off track in turn 1. Xander to 2nd. Rudolph Gunther out front. Simon Zierk closing in as well. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. Adam Barker already up to 5th. Lau into 6th. Oh, Lau is around at the tail end of the field. Lau is around as they come headed down the long straightaway. After winning race 1, he starts race 2 with some big problems. And already multiple cars in trouble here early as Rudolph Gunther comes through the final turn to lead lap 1. Let's take a look at those lap 1 incidents. Keep an eye on the BMW of Mike Dalling as he goes off into 1. Just sends it a little too deep. The car does not want to turn, gets it back up on track. Then into the S's, contact between him and Ryan McDaniel. Then the incident, Andrew Lau just getting on the power a split second too soon on the rumble strip, sends him around. A rough lap 1. Now Xander to the outside on the Porsche down the long straight. And it looks like Xander will clear into the chicane. Xander to the lead. Rudolph Gunther now to 2nd. Simon Zierk in 3rd. Max Gunther up to 4th. Adam Barker in 5th. Mike Dolling now in 6th. Has Andrew Lau in 7th on his bumper. Rudolph Gunther still holding on to 2nd. Simon in 3rd. Adam Barker has now made his way to 4th in the Ferrari. That Ferrari straight line speed on these long straightaways is going to come into play, but is it enough to catch up to and get around Xander out front? Adam is quickly closing the gap on the BMW of Simon Zierk ahead. Looked like Gunther may have had a problem through the chicane, overshot the entry, manages to keep it gathered up, but Simon right on his bumper. And Rudolph had a bit of a slowdown from the chicane. Simon Zierk now to 2nd, Barker to 3rd. Hey, good morning, Greenheart. Don't forget to make sure you're... Simon Zierk's around on the... out of the S's. There is Simon coming up out of the S's at the top of the hill, into the sand. Slips hard into the tires. And he towed it in. That car may be done. The first problem we have seen for any BMW this morning. Don't forget, folks, following us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We will have a special announcement on Facebook and Instagram on the morning reel after the race. As it is Gunther versus Gunther. Max has moved to 3rd, Rudolph in 4th. Meanwhile, Xander, the last 2 laps, has set the fastest lap of the race and now has a 3-second lead over Barker. However, now that Adam Barker is clear of traffic, can he make up that ground? Max Gunther in 3rd, Rudolph Gunther in 4th. The Porsches at a distinct disadvantage here today. Andrew Lau has gotten back past Mike Dolling, moved into 5th. He is gaining ground on the Gunther's body, is 7 1/4 seconds back. And Mike Dolling may be making an attack into the chicane. No, he can't get it. Also, don't forget to come back tonight, 7:30 Eastern. BRR Cup Series is back. Xander's lead had moved out to a 3-second lead. It has started to shrink. The gap now 2.7, 2.8 seconds. as Adam Barker is trying to reel in the leader. Simon Zierk has got his car fixed. He is back out on track. Adam Barker doing everything he can to gain some ground here. Max Gunther is now pulled away from Rudolph Gunther, and Andrew Lau is cutting that gap down to the Gunthers. He is the fastest car on track right now. He was 7.5 seconds behind Rudolph, now under 5 seconds, almost 4 seconds behind Rudolph and gaining. As we've talked about all season and especially this morning, the Porsche does not have the straight line speed. The Ferrari definitely does. And Andrew Lau is currently making the most of that straight line speed, reeling in Rudolph Gunther, now less than 4 seconds behind. Ryan McDaniel appears to officially be out of the race. Meanwhile, Xander out front has a 2.8 second lead. Adam had chopped away a couple of tenths, but just can't seem to gain any more ground. Hey, good morning, Richie Joplin. How are you, buddy? Ten minutes into the race and everything has been flipped upside down. It has been a wild second race. Xander continuing to lead over Adam Barker. Max Gunther in third, Rudolph Gunther in fourth, Andrew Lau in fifth. Lau less than 3 seconds behind Rudolph. He is closing in quickly. Mike Dalling just over 3 seconds behind Lau. Simon Zierk way behind in seventh, hoping things will turn around. And Adam Barker officially securing his 5th championship in GT3 NSS competition this morning. Xander's lead now down to just over 2.5 seconds. Andrew Lau still chopping away at the gap on Rudolph Gunther. It is under 2 seconds now as Lau reels Rudolph in. and is starting to reel in Max just ahead. After winning race 1, lap 1 of race 2, problems at the far end of the track sent him backwards, and he is pushing that Ferrari to its limit, trying to make up some ground. Remember, the drivers will still have to make a pit stop to take fuel, and we will likely see most, if not all, the field take front tires at minimum due to the wear on the left front and the heat those front tires have been getting all morning. Rudolf Gunther is gaining ground on Max at the moment, less than 2 seconds behind. Max currently holds on to third, but I think we're going to have a battle on hard for third place here in a couple of laps. Meanwhile, Xander's lead is shrinking as well, now down to 2.25 seconds. Looks like the Ferrari might be handling the long run on the tires a little bit better than the Ford. Andrew Lau just about close enough now to be in the slipstream of Rudolf Gunther. Lau right on the bumper as they come through the S's. Lau in 5th, Rudolph in 4th onto the straightaways. Lau will have the advantage. And they continue to close the gap on third place. Max Gunther. The top two have some breathing room between them and third place, but if those two out front ever start battling, things are going to get tight very, very quickly. Max Gunther less than 3 seconds behind Rudolph. Lau right to the bumper of Rudolph. He's going to make his move into 1. No, doesn't have the speed. Max Gunther in 3rd definitely wants to see these two battling. It will give him an opportunity to pull a gap. Max is now pulled ahead to 3.6 seconds now that Rudolph is having to drive defensively. Rudolph able to take these tighter turns a little bit fast, a little slip out of the Porsche. That might have been exactly what Lau needed, some slip-on power from the Porsche, but Lau just could not get it laid down in time behind. Lau gets a big run out of the chicane right to the bumper of Gunther. Lau's going to try it this time into one. Can't get there yet. Meanwhile, Adam Barker has lost a little bit of ground to the leader. Xander now 3 seconds ahead. Max Gunther sitting back in fourth. Rudolph in fifth. Rudolph in fourth. Lau still back in fifth. Greenheart, I always win. It's the advantage of being the announcer. I get to watch it. However, I will be making an announcement this afternoon on Facebook and Instagram that everybody will be happy to hear. Adam Barker in second has started to close the gap back down. Max Gunther in third. Rudolph Gunther still in fourth, but Rudolph and Lau's battle has allowed Max to pull 4 seconds ahead. These guys are going to have to use some pit strategy and hope for a miracle to close back up. Lau has the run down the straightaway, finally gets the move and clears Rudolph. Gunther, Andrew Lau now into fourth. Lau now sets his sights ahead on Max Gunther. Max 4.1 seconds up. Rudolph trying to stay in the slipstream of Andrew Lau. The top two have a 10-second gap back to third, but Barker is starting to reel Xander back in. Max Gunther in third, now has a Ferrari closing the gap. The gap was 4.2 seconds when Andrew passed Rudolph. It is now down to 3.5 seconds. Last time by, Lau almost a full second faster than Max. Meanwhile, the battle up front between Adam Barker in second and Xander in first is really back and forth. Adam will get within 2.5 seconds, maybe even down to 2 seconds, and Xander shoots off again. Right now, Xander's lead 3.1. Mike Dolling back in 6th, trying to close the gap on Rudolph Gunther. Simon Zierk in 7th, just ahead of Mike Dolling. Simon a full lap behind. Mike could utilize the slipstream off of Simon, though, to extend his fuel run. Maybe have a shorter pit stop and pull off something special. And Cody, I was surprised to not see you this morning. Adam losing ground now on the leader. Now 3.5 seconds back. Max trying to hold on, but Lau 2.5 seconds back. I can understand that, Cody. Lau is quickly reeling in. 3rd place, Max Gunther. Meanwhile, Xander out front has started to extend his lead once again. His lead over Barker now almost 4 seconds. Max Gunther in 3rd, 10.3 seconds back, but has Lau 2.5 seconds back, closing in. Rudolph Gunther sitting in 5th. Mike Dolling in 6th, 7 seconds behind Rudolph. He is also closing in with help from Simon Zierk. Everybody is now within the window to stop for fuel and go the distance. This is going to come down to when they want their tires. Expecting everybody to take front tires here on their pit stop. Lau continues to reel in. Rudolph Gunther now just 2.2 seconds back. Xander out front in the Ford GT. Thankfully, this will be the last appearance of the Ford GT3. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, they will be bringing in the Ford Mustang for GT3 racing next season. Adam Barker in 2nd, now over 4 seconds back from the leader. Max Gunther sitting in 3rd, Lau in 4th, Rudolph in 5th, Dolling in 6th. Zierk back in 7th, currently a lap down. Leo. Hey, good morning, Sketch. I know they wanted the Ford GT3 to go out with a bang, but I kind of figured it would be an explosion. Rudolph Gunther is the first driver to pit road. Rudolph gives up fifth. He is on pit road. Will Barker be coming in? Who will be the next driver to pit road? Xander still out front. Adam Barker in second. Max Gunther in third. Lau in fourth. And Mike Dolling in fifth. Don't forget, shortly after this race, we will be making our daily reel for Facebook and Instagram. You're not going to want to miss out on the big announcement coming on that. Doing good so far, Sketch. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Andrew Lau has got with... Oh, Max Gunther is in. Andrew Lau is in. Hey, good morning, Tina. Andrew Lau had gotten within 1 1/4 seconds of Gunther. Mike Dolling now gives up fifth. He is in. Third, fourth, and fifth on pit road. Rudolph Gunther in sixth already completed his stop. Xander out front. Adam Barker in second. They have not completed their stops. Xander coming down the hill toward the chicane. Will we see him on pit road this time? Yes, we will. The leader is in. Adam Barker gives up second. He is in. Will we see Xander taking on tires? We were expecting to see everybody take on at least fronts. Due to the heat being put into that left front tire, the Ford is up for tires. The Ferrari is up 2 to 4 tires. Looks like most of the drivers took 2 tires only. Max Gunther still holds on to third, barely. Andrew Lau right on his bumper. Have a great day, Sketch. Xander comes off pit road with a 6-second lead over Barker. Barker only 9.5 seconds ahead of Max. But Max has his hands full. Andrew Lau is right there. Xander has run away, his lead continuing to grow. The fresh tires making a big difference. Now almost 7 seconds over Barker. Simon Zierk is now in for his stop. Adam Barker in second. Max Gunther still holds Andrew Lau off. Rudolph Gunther back in fifth, still has Dawling behind him in sixth. But the battle for third is what has heated up, as these two are not only going at it, they are closing the gap on second place, Adam Barker. Lau right on the bumper. Will this be the time he attacks? The best place for the Ferrari to attack is down the hill. Not this time, not into the chicane at least. Maybe trying to force Max to make a mistake here, but Max making a mistake is unlikely. They are still closing in on second place, Adam Barker. Lau has taken the position. Max had an off track. Coming down the hill into the final turn, Max Gunther hits the apex and goes just a hair wide through the grass. Lau shoots the gap and takes the position. Andrew Lau also set the fastest lap of the race at that moment. Xander's still out front. Adam is closing back in, now down to 6 1/4 seconds. Adam may be in trouble though. Lau in third is closing in 8.6 seconds back. Lau comes down the hill in third. Now 8.5 seconds back from Barker, trying to close in. Any mistake from the top two, they are in trouble. Barker has now closed the gap down to 6.5 seconds, continuing to reel in the leader, and Lau is faster than both of them. Does he have enough time to get it done, though, is the question. Max Gunther, Rudolph Gunther, 4th and 5th. Max trying like crazy to stay with Lau in 3rd place. Lau less than 8 seconds behind Barker. Xander has started pushing just a little bit harder. Pulled that lead gap back to about 6.6 seconds. Adam Barker in second, not gaining any ground at the moment, but my goodness, Andrew Lau continues to chop away. Now 7.5 seconds behind Barker. But Max Gunther has found some speed and closed back up on Lau. Now just 0.7 of a second behind Lau. He has found a way to mitigate the Ferrari straight line speed. And Max Gunther just set the fastest lap of the race last time by. Lau continuing to reel in Adam Barker, but Barker holding about 6.8 seconds behind the leader, Xander. Rudolph Gunther currently back in 5th, fairly safe as he is 19 seconds behind Max and 12.8 seconds ahead of Dowling. Simon Zierk currently in 7th. Ryan McDaniel out in 8th. 9 minutes left to go in race number 2. And it looks like Xander may be able to pull off sending the Ford GT out with a win. Adam in 2nd, still trying to reel him in. Andrew Lau and Max Gunther continuing to close the gap on the top 2. Lau and Max, the 2 fastest cars on track at the moment. An impressive run by Max, managing to stay with the Ferrari on the straight. Xander still up front by 6.5 seconds. Adam closing back in. Lau now just 7 seconds behind Barker. But unlikely that Lau will have enough time at this point to close that gap. Max Gunther staying right with Lau. Lau now 6.5 seconds behind Barker. Barker 6.5 seconds behind Xander. One mistake at this late time in the race could turn everything upside down again, and we have seen just about every driver have an issue here this morning. Five minutes left to go, likely only about 3 more laps for Xander. Barker still 6.5 seconds behind Xander. Lau still 6.5 seconds behind Barker. Max still right on Andrew's bumper. We saw in race 1 in the first half of this race, the Porsches just couldn't even hang in the slipstream of the Ferrari, but Max has found some way to offset that. He has been able to hang with Lau since the pit stops. He was even able to reel Lau in from a 2.5 back. Xander's lead 6.8 seconds. Andrew Lau now just 6 seconds behind Adam Barker. The battle for third is the hottest on track at the moment. Max has been able to hang with Lau for several laps. Does he have any way of getting back around him? Mike Dalling back in 6th, trying to close the gap on Rudolph Gunther in 5th. Rudolph Gunther currently running in 5th as one driver has been close to victory lane so many times this season. We fully expect to see him in victory lane and likely battling for the title next season. Just a couple more laps for Xander with no mistakes. Lau and Gunther still nose to tail, 3rd and 4th, still closing in on Barker. Through the chicane. Whoa, no, Xander, the leader, is around in the chicane. Adam Barker is there. Xander can't get the car going. Adam Barker to the lead. White flag is in the air. Lau is closing in on 2nd place Xander now. Here's Xander coming down the hill toward the final chicane. Gets in, just gets the wrong angle on the brakes. Gets the car turned around, but can't get it to grip and go. And Adam Barker quickly takes the lead. Xander now in second, under attack from third place Andrew Lau, and fourth place Max Gunther. Meanwhile, Adam Barker has a 2.7 second lead. Down the hill one more time for the Ferrari of Adam Barker, the new champ. Out of the chicane, Adam Barker comes clean, a 2.5 second lead. He is gonna do it. Adam Barker will win at Road Atlanta. Xander comes home in second, and it'll be Lau in third, barely. Let's talk to our top three. Andrew, that was a very, very close third place finish.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was surprising to see Max stick on your bumper for the second half of that second race. How worried were you?
I think I had the straight line advantage on with the Ferrari, so not too bad. But he was getting closer and closer every time. Seems like I was faster in the first end, and he was faster in the second. So it was interesting and fun.
Well, man, a great job. Another great season, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Xander coming home in second. Xander, that was somewhat heartbreaking seeing you go into the chicane the second to last time and the car just went away.
Yeah, I had a rear axle lock. It was a complete skill issue, Doug, but it happens. It's for Adam that he finishes his championship win with a win on the track as well.
It definitely worked out that way, but congratulations. That was an awesome, awesome run today, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
Xander comes home second, and Adam Barker wins the race and the championship. Adam, do you realize this is the 5th time I've got to call you champ?
Yeah, really great end to the season there. Amazing race with Xander, trying to keep up with him, and just a little lapse in judgment with the Ford ended his race, which is ended his winning streak. I think every time he's been in the final race, he's managed to come first. So it was nice to knock him off.
Well, and it was nice. I was very proud of you for not letting the Ford win the final race of the season.
I was sweating, trying hard.
Well, we definitely appreciate that, but man, a great job today. Congratulations. Congratulations on your 5th championship. Just great all-around day.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a really good race. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, I was very surprised to be on the top step for the season. It was a really difficult season. I had a lot of ups and downs in it, so hopefully more luck next week, next season.
Hopefully so. Congratulations, another great one, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Adam Barker wins the championship once again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget, tonight, 7:30 Eastern, we will have BRR Cup Series. And here in just a little bit, we will also have that special announcement on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, everybody.